Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Israel Brief, brought to you, as always, by Lay of the Land and hosted by me, Rolene Marks. So before we head off into the weekend, and a reminder that we won't be on the air on Monday, it is the end of Sukkot. It's also Shmini Atzeret and Simchat Torah here in Israel, but we'll be back on Tuesday with your top stories. And then it's back to normal after that, at least for a while. But before we head off into the weekend, let's take a look at those top stories, and we begin with news that last night eruptions of violence in and around East Jerusalem were some of the worst incidents that we have seen in several years. Earlier today, Public Security Minister Omer Bar-Lev confirmed that he had called up 4 reserve battalions of police and border guards. He said the incidents in and around East Jerusalem last night were extremely serious. Meanwhile, a 7-year-old boy has been treated for light injuries near the northwest bank town of Huwara as Palestinians pelted the car that he was in with stones. Rescue Without Borders has also reported treating 2 other Israeli children for anxiety. Last night, an Israeli man and his wife and 1-year-old baby were almost lynched in the town of Algiers as their ways directed them, or they took a wrong turn on their way to the Kotel. Their car was pelted with rocks and Palestinians tried to enter the car. The father managed to lock the doors and get through to the police, who told him to floor the gas and scatter the crowds. It is very serious at the moment, and the security forces are in a state of high alert. Leaders from Fatah and Hamas have met in Algiers, in Algeria today, to try and attempt to sign some kind of reconciliation deal. And the two parties have been engaged in internecine fighting for at least 15 years. Now, we're not too sure what the clauses of this reconciliation deal are, but we know that whoever is brokering it in Algiers wants them to form some kind of national unity government and to hold elections at least within the year. Now, the international community do not recognize Hamas, despite Hamas winning elections in the Gaza Strip in 2006. It is highly unlikely that the two parties will sign this deal. One of the clauses that has been made public is that both parties are expected to abide by international law should a national unity government be formed. Now, Hamas do not recognize international law, which I find quite interesting because some of their supporters don't hesitate to castigate Israel or use or call up the issue of international law without actually explaining what international law and which law they are specifically referring to. The New York Times is reporting that a Ukrainian official has told them that Israel is providing intelligence with regards to the Shahed 136 drones that Russia is using to attack targets in Ukraine. It is reported that a private Israeli company is also providing satellite imagery. Now, this comes as Ukrainian officials have routinely condemned Israel for not sending enough defensive aid. Now, we have spoken a long time and almost ad nauseum on this report exactly why Israel is not sending defense aid, but instead is sending vast amounts of humanitarian aid. And the IDF's Elite 669 rescue unit managed to rescue an American citizen aboard a cruise ship very close to Israel who suffered a cardiac episode. They rescued the man using a helicopter and managed to evacuate him to Rambam Hospital in Haifa, where he is receiving treatment. And that's the end of our top stories for today, but don't forget to check out our website at www.layoftheland.online. A reminder that if you want to be a subscriber to our weekly newsletter, please contact us via our website or via Facebook. Our Facebook page is at Lottel Site. If you haven't already followed or liked us, please do so. We know that Facebook right now is, as we say here in Israel, ala panim, with people losing friends and followers and all that kind of malarkey. Our YouTube channel is at the Israel Brief. Please click on that red subscribe button so we can grow our community and get the news from Israel you don't hear in the mainstream media out to as many people as possible. And of course, we're on Twitter at Lay of the Land 5. And with that, I want to wish you a wonderful rest of your Sukkot, Moadim L'Simcha. Have a wonderful weekend. Shabbat Shalom. Please take care of yourselves and stay safe out there. And I will see you again next week.